sitein chasidcha liroy shochas. Hoidi eini oyechayim, soy vasmochois esponecho, nimois bimincho netzach. This time, speaking to Yechiel, Wednesday night. So I want to go say over the things we spoke about. We spoke about the Gemara in the Dorim, that the Gemara says, Alma of the Haaretz, Shol the Nevi'im, L'chachamim, and no one had an answer. Till HaKadosh Baruch Hu said, Al Shalei Baruch Hu, B'Torah Tchila, Shav Shach gestellt, the Nevi'im didn't know, the Chachamim didn't know. What's the Taina on Klal Yisrael? So Shach gesagt, weiß der Chois, a person himself, tiefer rein, he knows himself, größer wie der größte Navi, wie der größte Chacham. Yechiel was saying, yeah, I know myself. This is what I am. Ich will steigen in Torah, and I'm steiging in Torah, and I want to learn Torah, and I want to be starker in my Midas HaChesed. And my Midas HaChesed, those are the two things. He says, my Torah and my Chesed, that's where I want, that's what I have, and I'm going to want to be starker in that. Then we spoke about Posik says, Shechembeni, Choshek Nafshe, and Rashi says, Chavtza. So we spoke about the Goyin, that the Goyin says, Cheshik is a desire, a ruchniistic desire. And Chayfetz is a gashmiistic desire. Shem b'ni chosh kenafshe, he wanted mizdavik with the shiftei ko, zok Rashi nei chovtza, so given a taiva. Was given Rashi's raya, zok the goyin, v'lo ichir hanar ki chovtza b'vas Yaakov. When they came to the deal, he was masking to it right away. He was rasking it right away, zok the goyin, when it comes to ruchnius, it doesn't happen gleich. It goes with a fight, it doesn't go so easy. Yechiel was talking, and we were talking. He was saying, I don't have it so easy. I don't have it so easy. The upbringing is given as a life. But I'm telling you, you felt from him a neshama tahira, a pure neshama, a edelkeit, a tiefkeit, a sensitive person talking. That I'm fighting. I'm in the Milchama. Ubecharte b'chaim, and he was menatzeach, and he's menatzeach the Milchama. He's menatzeach the Milchama. Pasuk in Tehillim Sheit, la korem atzmisa, lirisha. Dr. Kliyaka, Vayovik, Ishimai Adalais Hashacha, is in the Golas, is Chashchis in Golas. The Abish gives certain iris in the Golas that you have to chap onto it. And that was what we spoke about with Yechiel. That's not always so easy. But when it's the or, mechapt sich zum or, Yechiel chapt the or, sei in sein Teure, sei in sein Midas, sei in sein Chesed, sei in sein Gutzkeit, in sein Lichtigkeit. Ezu Gibor Akovish as Yitzray. The Gibor, he had his gvulim. He knew his boundaries, and he was stark eisen in a makoyach hashtika. He didn't tell anybody all the things that he did. We know he had a medical condition. Still, that he asked his mother to help him out medically. Never, he did it himself. I'm not going to ask my mother. I'm not going to give him more pain. I'm not going to give him more time. I just want good for my mother. How many times in Panasa, the first time he tells me always, you know what, when I'm going to want to make out also, I'm going to give my mother and my father. Well, that's what it's for. People want to come in the stube Friday, give flowers to my mother, big flowers, and plunk down the geld, the gemacht, gegeben, the ganze geld to the mama. Well, this is what life is. I want my mother to be happy. I need my family to be happy. That's all he cared about. It's like I can't believe this happened Wednesday night. Like we were talking about shidduchim, he wants to start going out. He told me, I want to tell you something. I am not going out before Menachem. It's not going to happen for Menachem. That Aveshaft and the Chaveshaft and the Gedideshaft that they had for each other. They had each other's back. They were screaming at each other. They used to fight with each other, but they had each other's back. Not shaykh. They had. Yechiel, to keep it over, the shtika that you had to be quiet, basically the trust that people trusted you from alle Seiten is because you had that koyach, and you had that gvura, and you had your boundaries, and you knew the richtig, and what your boundaries are. For all of us, die gewaltige Handhalle, Reb Benzi, Reb Beirish, Reb Shmuel, Reb Yesivitzke, Reb Heschel, the Mamish Mosset, the ganze Euron. Wir melden euch für them. Wir melden euch für your Chaverim, for your Didim, that everyone is shooken up to the core. They don't even know what to do. They all love you. They all care about you. They don't know what to say. They wissen, was zu sagen. Wir melden euch für dein Natayr, Bruder Menachem, dein Bruder Menachem. Bless Yosha for your family, for your father, for your mother, for your brother, for your sister Devorah. Your sister Devorah, Yechiel, how many times did you tell me that? Oh, I want my sister. I want my good for my sister. I want to go me. I'm going to buy this for her. I'm going to buy that for her. And I'm going to do this for her. And it's all silent because it's my Yosha for the ganze Mishpacha.
Wenn Sie mein Freund.
Had noch nafshe der Rabbi Yochanan, Posach alei Rabbi Yitzchak ben Elazar, Kosha hayoim li Yisrael, ki yoim bo hashemesh batzohorayim. Ichsiv v'hoyo bayoim hahu, ve'ivesi es hashemesh batzohorayim. Rabbi Yochanan was nifter. Rabbi Yitzchak ben Elazar said a hesped on him, and he said this day is difficult, like the day that the sun sets at noon. Kiyoim bo hashemesh batzohorayim. The way the pasuk describes the Churban Habayis, HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, a day will come, vehivesi es hashemesh batzohorayim. So many hours of sunlight left, but the sun sets at noon. And this is how the Saptin was describing the Misa of Rabbi Yochanan. He had so many good years left to live, so much more to offer, but there was Kiyoim bo hashemesh batzohorayim. But perhaps Rabbi Yitzchak ben Elazar was also giving tanchumin, and he was saying that just like by the Churban Habayis, even though the Beis Hamikdash is not standing anymore, but every tefillah and every breath that every yid takes, which yid doesn't think about the Beis Hamikdash every minute of the day? Achak eloi b'chol yom sheyovo, sheyibon the Beis Hamikdash, v'sechazenu ineinu b'shuvcha l'tzion b'rachamim. Abada, we don't have the Beis Hamikdash b'poil, but the Beis Hamikdash lives in every yid's heart every minute of the day. And he was saying about Rabbi Yochanan that Misas Rabbi Yochanan is compared to Bo HaShemesh Batzohorayim. When the sun sets, we know the sun doesn't disappear, but the sun goes underground and it's obscured and we can't see it, but we know the sun is still there. And he was saying that even though Rabbi Yochanan is not with us anymore, but we will never forget Rabbi Yochanan, and we will be thinking about Rabbi Yochanan and living and breathing every word that Rabbi Yochanan taught us throughout his life. And it will be like a sunset. Ki yoim bo hashemesh batzohorayim. We won't have him with us, but we will never forget him. And that was the Tanchumen that Rabbi Yitzchak ben Elazar was teaching us by Misas Rabbi Yochanan. It's Ki yoim bo hashemesh batzohorayim. When we think about Yechiel and we think about all the tremendous milas that he had, and we learn from those milas, that will be a way for us to remember Yechiel and really connect with him in a deeper way even than when he was with us in person. Because we are now connecting with him in our brains, and we are connecting with him in our hearts and in our neshamas. when we think about Yechiel's tremendous chen, that chen that he had on his face that made him so lovable. Kol mi sheyesh bo chen biyadu yirei shamayim. His neshama was shining out through his face at all times. He was the most lovable person that everyone in the yeshiva had such a feeling of love towards him. Always got along with everybody. Was the most pleasant person to talk to. Had such deep insight in when you had a conversation with him. And those tremendous smiles that he had, when we connect with them, that's our way to keep connecting with Yechiel forever and ever going forward. One of the milas that we will remember Yechiel, that will help us connect and stay connected with Yechiel going forward. The Gemara says, Kol hamorid demois al adam kosher, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Soifron, the Rebbeinu Shalom counts all the tears that every Yid cries on an Adam Kosher. Why the expression Adam Kosher? What is an Adam Kosher? Explains the Avnei Nezer that the word kosher describes a behema that's kshera, that's not a treifa. What makes a behema not be considered a treifa? If the behema is able to live for 12 months. That's how a behema is called a behema kshera. Why 12 months? Why is that the way to measure whether a behema is a kshera? So he explains, because throughout a 12-month year, if the behema is able to survive a 12-month year, which has all the different seasons, and is able to survive through all the different seasons and all the different weather changes and all the difficulties that come throughout an entire year cycle, then we know he's an Adam Kosher. If a person has all different kinds of seasons in his life, and he's able to keep himself strong throughout all those seasons, and keep his head high, and keep himself ehrlich and strong and positive, that's an Adam Kosher. And when we remember that, and in our times we also keep ourselves strong in our difficult matzavim, and in this difficult matzav, then that will be our way of remembering Yechiel and keeping Yechiel in our heart going forward. So the Eibishter helfen, we should all be able to be nischazik, and what can we say? It's such a tragedy, we have nothing to say, but the Eibishter shall shikin a koyach for us to be able to cope with this and to be able to stay strong. And Yechiel should be a Meilutz Yosha for us, and all the sadness should be wiped away. We should be Zeicha to Mach Hashem Elikim Dima Me'al Kol Ponim V'Bias Mashiach Tzedkeinu.
Amen.
Reb Hershel Stein.
Thank Kedusha, I am Mekoim Kevaydai. Wo ist dein Platz, Eibishter? Wo bist du, Eibishter? Manchmal kommt eine Zeit, sometimes there comes a time where everyone asks, I am Mekoim Kevaydai. Where does... There is no one knows the place of the Eibishter, because the Eibishter is everywhere. And it's there in Hashem Elokeinu v'aniklesh lanu v'neinu ha'olam. We don't know why things happen. We don't know why we got Yechiel in the first place, and now we don't know why Yechiel is not with us. But we do know what we got from Yechiel and what we were able to give to Yechiel. Nafshi kshur b'nafshay, that I can say that Yechiel was in my share for over a year. And the share that Yechiel was in my share, the days that when you were in my share, Yechiel, it was a different share. The kashas you asked, the turzin that you gave, nafshi kshur b'nafshay. There's a kesher that's built between two people when it comes to Divrei Torah, that the most deepest kasha that can be there. It's the most deepest kasha that can be there. And everyone that's in the yeshiva akdosha, everyone that has shaykhs to you, your chavusas, your roommates, your chaverim, and now, and your rebbe, we have that kasha, and we don't have that anymore. But Mididach Gisa,
That kesher is so strong, Yechiel, that it can never be broken. That Rizcha Deraisa, that choosing and learning that you had with us, that smile on your face when I asked the kasha and shir, and you knew the teretz, that smile, that shmeichel will be with you adayah. That will be with you forever. It's a schwer Sache, steif out Talmud. This is my shir. Not to take a prize for this. Yechiel, I loved you, and I always love you, and all your chaverim and all your chavristas, and everyone loves you, and your parents loved you. And there's a mice with the Get Tzedek, that when the Get Tzedek was nifter, he went up to Elam Haba, and they showed him all the sha'arim that he's able to go into. They said, you can go to this shar, you can go to that shar, you can go to this shar. But there was one shar that they said to the Get Tzedek, you're not allowed to go into that shar. So the Get Tzedek said, why can't I go into that shar? So they said, because you never had a Yiddish mama. So the Get Tzedek said, but I did the epitome. I became a ger and I was Moisei Nafshi al Kedusha Hashem. I gave everything I had to serve you, everything. So he said, no, you don't have a Yiddish mama, you can't go into this place. So what's the eitzah? So they said, if you want, you can go down to this world one more time. He said, if I come down to this world, maybe I'll be makalkal. Maybe, things won't go as good. So he said, we're going to put people around you that are going to make sure that things go right. And the Get Tzedek was born again, and he came down to this world, and there were people in Rebbeim that somehow knew the mice and knew this was the Get Tzedek neshama, and he was born to two parents, and they used to come to the cheder to make sure that the Get Tzedek was taka doing the right thing, going in the Derech Hashem. One of the Malamdan, they say, where's this Yingel, where's this Bacher? He's a younger Yingel. So he says, they didn't want to tell him. So he said, where's the Yingel? He said, I'm not saying. They found out that the Yingel's Avek. It's a younger Yingel. So he said, Baruch Hashem. Now the guy said they can get around in Yad Shah from Gan Eden, and he made a big Suda. We don't know why Yechiel was here. But there were people around him that loved him, that helped him, and he was so receptive to all of us, and he wanted to do the right thing. And he loved the learning, he loved Yiras Hashem, he loved the Vart and Chumash, he loved making brachas. He used to came to the Chumash and he made brachas with the ganze Simcha. He was a balachrayas. He told me one time he went down to Memphis and he was able to do it to Hara on an old Yid that was a Holocaust victim, and that's all he spoke about. That was his mahus for a few days, was only that he was able to do this mitzvah. That was his simcha. And these mitzvahs are not just parach ba'avir. Yechiel takes these mitzvahs along with him. And this Torah now vayda negate. Nachamal. We don't know why Yechiel was here. We don't know why he was taken, but we do know that the feelings that everyone here feels is a testament to his greatness and a testament to what he was mekayim in this world. Yechiel, I want to ask you Mechila. And I want you to know that this kesha that we had in learning, this kesha that we had, you were my Talmud, but you were my chaver, you were my brother, and I will never forget this. And when I'm coming up to Shemayim, it's already in Lenin Nachamal. It's already in Lenin Nachamal. We'll talk about the Mishkarov again. We'll talk about Rashi, we'll talk about Meruba. The Sugya is not finished.
Rabbi Ben Zion Schaefer. Chassam Sofer, in his introduction to your day, so the people often ask a question. When someone leaves this world at a young age, and they ask why? And if Chassam Sofer explains that it's a mistake, but not because it's a mistake, but it's a mistake because it's completely not understanding. Explains Chassam Sofer that when a person is put into this world, he's given a job, supposed to grow, supposed to accomplish supposed to reach the level of perfection for which he was created. It is no sheer. There's no specific amount of time. It doesn't necessarily take 80 years, 40 years, 30 years. Explains the Chassam Sofer, if a person is nisgaber, if his neshama rises to the fore, then in a short while he could accomplish worlds, he could reach his matara, and could have accomplished his mission. And more than that, oftentimes a person spends much time going backwards, taking one step forward and 2 steps backwards, 1 step forward and 3 steps backwards. And the reason why it takes 60 years, 70 years is not because that's the amount of time it takes, but because people spend so much time spinning their wheels. And in fact, explains the Chassam Sofer that if you see a tzaddik who's 60, who's 70, you should ask a question, what is he still doing here? And he explains that he's no longer here for himself. He's done his job, completed his mission long ago, because it doesn't take that long. If he's here for that long, it means he's here for his Talmidim, for his family, for Klal Yisrael, but he's no longer here for himself. I got to know Yechiel as a family member, as a friend, and the pristine midos, the purity of his neshama, the goodness, the absolute respect that he had for any human being. I can't even begin to count the amount of times my wife said, the finest young man. But in yeshiva there's an expression, if you want to know a fella's midos, you don't watch him during Musa Seder. You watch him on the basketball court. If you wanted to know who Yechiel was, just all you had to do was watch the way he treated his mother. The respect, the love, the dedication. As some of the Rebbeim have mentioned, money didn't come easy. He worked very hard, but he sure made sure that whatever he could give to his mother, but it was more than that, protective, standing like a bear. And if anyone dared say something about his sister, the goodness, the kindness, the chesed, feel you should be Melech Yosher for your father, for your mother, for your brother Menachem. Menachem, I have to tell you, I don't have to tell you that Yechiel looked up to you, but I can tell you that to him you were a hero, you were a big brother. Yechiel should be Melech Yosher for your brothers, for your sister, for Klal Yisrael.
Rabbi Zweig. The Mishnah says, Yafa shel achas shel kairas ruach b'olam habon yikol chayei olam hazeh. The nifter now will have kairas ruach. The pain is our pain, but the nifter is in a very good place. Yafa shel achas shel maisim toivim ba'olam hazeh mikol chayei olam haba. But even better than olam haba is shel achas, a moment of maisim toivim. I remember the nifter, remember Yechiel from his bar mitzvah. I remember the unusual chen, and with that chen, it's obvious that his life was a life of maisim tovim for others, for himself, for coming close to Kudsha B'ruchu. Rav Kolevsky Zechron L'Racha said, at the patira of a grandson who was nifter in an accident, he turned to the parents and he said, "That's not," said the name of the child, I don't remember the name of the child, "that's not him. That is his coat. He is his neshama, and his neshama is in a very good place." This was, as was said, this was Yechiel's time. We didn't know how much time we would have him for. The Ribbono Shel Olam knew. But this was his time. The Ribbono Shel Olam loved him, and he took him in his love for him and for no other reason. And we loved him just as Ribbono Shel Olam loved him. I turned to his mother, turned to Mrs. Finegold. You gave him all you could, every minute that he lived. You protected him, you nurtured him, you supported him, you gave him confidence, you gave him simcha. You were a shutuf with the Ribbono Shel Olam to make sure that to the degree that you could, in every moment that he had an Olam Hazeh, that you made sure that you would help him reach his potential as much as anybody in the world could, that you would be the one who would help him to reach that potential, and that you were a shutuf with the Ribbono Shel Olam in giving to him and caring about him. Rav Naftali Amsterdam said, that Rabbi Yisrael Salanter said, that if a person is nifter suddenly, then for 3 days we don't need to learn Musar, because it's a Musar for us, the strongest Musar, that for every single one of us who's here, we can give as a chus to the nifter by remembering that the clock is ticking and we never know what it is that Ribbono Shel Olam has given us and how to use the time. And to the degree that every single one of us can use that time by being shaken up by such a sudden loss of such a chashuva, beloved person, of such a chaviv, that could be a tremendous zechus for us, for all his chaverim, to realize that somebody was lost so suddenly. And for every one of us, the clock is ticking. What could we do with the minutes that we have? If we take that lesson, then that will be the greatest zechus and aliyah for his neshama. Should be a meilutz yosher for his mishpacha, for his mother, for his brother, his sister, his brothers, for all of Klal Yisrael.
Daniel Finegold.
I don't want to be here right now. I love you. You're not allowed to kiss your child if he dies. You can't have external love. You have to have all of the people love your child in your heart. He was a tzaddik. He was a tzaddik. Washington was a tzaddik. He was an honor. Okay? He was an honor. We should learn from him. Anivas. Learn from him a shtickle Anivas. A little more Anivas in the world. I'm speaking to myself right now. If anyone wants to listen, Sarah right. What I'm saying is for myself. My son is a descendant of the Balatanya. My son is a descendant. I'm not a descendant of Balatanya. My son is a descendant of Balatanya. When I was in Eretz Isroel for my son's wedding, I saw a little sign, a little shellet that I bought. It's a quote from the Balatanya. He says, Rov hatzoros v'hatlois bayim mimachloikes l'shem shamayim. That's what the Balatanya says. Goin shbegoinen. Goin shbegoinen. Rov hatzoros v'hatlois bayim mimachloikes l'shem shamayim. I don't know why, but I feel for myself. That's one of the reasons why I'm here right now. And who can say that they're not Naguabas? That's why we don't have a base of Mikdash. So we don't have a base of Mikdash. We're not Makriv Karbanas. So Rabbanu Shalom has a different way of doing Karbanas. The Germans in Mach Shemam, when they were taking the Yidden to be killed, they had people playing violin. They were playing instruments as the Yidden were going to die. Why? Because they were Karbanas. They were Karbanas. In the Beis HaMikdash, there were Karbanas with music. If we don't have in the Beis HaMikdash Karbanas with music, we're going to have Karbanas from Chalil v'Chaz. Hashem Shmur. My son is a korban. My son is a korban. My son is a korban. I'm talking to myself. When am I gonna learn? When are we gonna learn? To stop Machlekes. Machlekes Hashem Shamayim. Everybody's tzaddik. Everybody Shamayim is making other decisions. Everybody thinks it's tzaddik. Tzaddikim u'atim. Kasuv tzaddikim u'atim. Because Baruch Hu shazim b'chol dor v'dor. Why? Because there aren't too many tzaddikim out there. Tzaddikim u'atim. I didn't say this. Well, the Maisa, tzaddikim, there are tzaddikim. Somehow, I don't know why, Machlekes, everybody knows Machlekes, everybody knows about it. We know. That's why we don't have a base of Mikdash. That's why we don't have Karbanos. My son is a korban. My son is a korban.
Finegold.
Yechiel. I know right now you're in a good place. I know right now. You're together with Hashem. אתה רואה את הכל. את כל הדלתות, את כל התלאות, את כל מה שעברנו וזה ביחד. הכל. Everything we did together, everything. Since we were little kids, it's the only thing we did. We were just buddies. We were friends. I knew everything he went through, he knew everything I went through. הכל פשוט עברנו ביחד. Wow, the amount of things that you taught me, Yechiel. Yechiel, the amount of things that you taught me. This world, we always used to tell each other, this world is not a place we're going to understand ever. We will never, ever understand this world. And Yechiel told me what he remembers. Mizrabeim, Messias Hashem says, this world is a maze. Is one maze that without a guide, you're just lost. You're a lost soul. You have no idea where to go. And that was one thing Yechiel always had. He always had his Rebbeim. Especially Reb Hershel. Oh, Reb Hershel, man, you helped him. I mean, Yechiel was the one that taught me so many things. So many things about life. I remember when we were little kids in Eretz Isroel. My mother was sitting by the park, and me and Yechiel were on the swings. And we're just swinging. And out of nowhere, Yechiel just screams, Ima, כשנגדל, אני אקנה לך יהלומים. Even when I grow up, I will buy you diamonds. And that's something that Yechiel always did. When I started working, I wasn't giving much money to my mother because it wasn't in my head. And then all of a sudden Yechiel, he started working by the barbershop. And all of a sudden for us, the amount of money he was making was a lot. And I remember the first Shabbos, the first week that he was making the money, we went home. He just dropped $400 on the table. He didn't think twice, not for 2 seconds. Yechiel, אתה פשוט, היה לך את הכוח, היה לך איזה משהו, איזה נשמה טהורה. יש לך איזה נשמה טהורה. ולמה אני זכיתי להיות האח שלך? את זה אני לא יודע. אני לא יודע את זה. ולמה אני זכיתי? זה היה זכות. לי זה היה זכות. כמה שלימדת אותי. מאז הראת לי שכסף זה שום דבר. מה זה כסף? זה שווה כלום. I remember the last Shabbos we were home. Yechiel was like, we have to buy him flowers. And I'm like, yeah, for sure. We're gonna go buy him flowers. Yechiel went into the store and I'm thinking, usually we bought $10, $15. And this was the last Shabbos. You were just home. Yechiel said, I'm spending $50 on flowers. He came out with the biggest flowers in the world. And I asked him, אבל Yechiel, למה? $50, למה? And he told me, מנחם, זה ברכה. זה ברכה. וזה בשביל המשפחה. ואני יודע שזה סימן ברכה לנו ולכל כלל ישראל. את זה אני יודע. I mean, we've been through everything together, Yechiel. Yechiel. And there were times where we got into arguments. But deep inside, it's just, there was something there that we knew the arguments just was nothing. זה היה כלום. זה היה סתם מחלוקת לרגע.
For 1 second, I know Qasim, we were angry at each other, and literally a split second later, Yechiel, Menachem, let's go. Let's go out and chill by the choir for a few minutes. I called. Everything we just went through together. I just know Yechiel had a certain neshama. There was something about him that just drove him. I have no idea what it was. Hashem put in him a certain neshama. And I know that he helped a lot of people. I know he helped a lot of people who were in not the greatest situations. And he somehow helped them. Brought them to davening, minyan, learning. He had a geder. He had a gedorim. Shabbos, tefillin was gedorim that there's no way in the world. There's no way in the world. זה נשמה. זה לא דבר שאפשר להבין. זה certain neshama. It's impossible. It's impossible to understand. I know Yechiel had Crohn's since he was 14 years old. I remember seeing him in the hospital. I've never seen him like that. Yechiel, הוא היה גיבור. He was just strong. He just stood to everything. He told me one night we went to sleep in a room, and then Yechiel was like to me, you know how many weeks before I had the Crohn's, how much pain I was in, and I had no idea what it was. But he just kept it inside. And I know that the Gemara says that tzaddikim, I know one of the ways that they're nerfed is the misas is chaylim ma'ayim. And I know for a fact that it has to do with this. It's gotta be. It just doesn't make sense. The pain that he went through. And then the things that he just was able to stand and just not say anything, just be quiet. And he didn't say anything to anyone. There were so many things he didn't even tell me because he didn't want to make me say. I know איזה מדרגה, איזה כוח. I know Yechiel, I know you see this right now. And I know you right now, you with אבינו. אבא שבשמיים, אתה איתו עכשיו. עכשיו אתה מבין את הכל. אתה מבין את הכל. ויחיל. יחיל, אני מבקש ממך משהו אחד. אני מבקש, יחיל, בבקשה. בבקשה, אני מבקש. אני יודע שעברנו הרבה, אבל יחיל, תמחול. יחיל, אני יודע שזה היה אחד מהכוחות שלך. אתה מוחל. אתה פשוט שוכח. אתה פשוט מסתכל עליו. אתה לא מסתכל אחורה. יחיל, ואני מבקש ממך. אני מבקש, יחיל. יחיל, אני יודע שאתה רואה את זה, יחיל. אני יודע שאתה רואה את זה. ואני מבקש. בבקשה, תליץ יושר. תשאל את אבא שבשמיים. תשאל אותו. תשאל אותו בבקשה. תשאל אותו בבקשה, שבת משיח. אני אפילו לא מבין מה אני אומר, אבל אני יודע שזה כתוב בספרים, אז זהו. תשאל אותו, יחיל, היה לך איזה נשמה טהורה, בבקשה. תליץ יושר עלינו, מעל כל כלל ישראל, יחיל. יחיל, אני מבקש. יחיל, I love you. Yechiel, you know I always loved you, and I always will love you. Yechiel, אני יודע שדבורה, כשדיברתי עם דבורה, she told me, Menachem, I will always have 3 older brothers. I will always. יחיאל, אתה כל הזמן תהיה איתנו. אתה כל הזמן תהיה איתנו. כל הזמן. ועכשיו שאתה שם למעלה ליד ריבונו של עולם, עכשיו פשוט תליט יושר, תשמור, עכשיו תשמור על דבורנה. יחיאל, אתה עכשיו למעלה, אתה רואה את הכל, אתה יכול להבין את הכל. תשמור עלינו יחיאל, יחיאל תשמור, אני מבקש.
אל מלא רחמים שייכין במרמים אמצי מנוחה נכונה תחס כנפי השכינה במעלויס קדושים מותרים כזייר הרקיע מזהירים אס נשמע יחיל יצחק בן חניאל זלמן שהלך לעולמו בעבור בלי נדר משפחה נדב לצדקה בעד הזכרת נשמתו בגן עדן תהי מנוחסי לכן בעל רחמים יסירהו בססר כנפיו לעולמים ויצרור בצרור החיים את נשמתי אדוני הוא נחלתי וינוח בשלום על משכבי ונאמר אמן. We're going to walk along the road here to the other gate.